One of the joys of my job when I teach students is explaining to them, and I'm kind of being sarcastic here, but it does put a little smile on my face when I see facial reactions. So maybe this will be you. When we talk about income tax and you talk about going out there getting a job and then you get that paycheck, and well, one of the shocks that you will have is when you get that paycheck and you say, okay, I worked 40 hours this week and I made X amount of money per hour, which means I get this much money. What? And you look down at the paycheck and you're like, what just happened? What just happened is called income tax. And income tax is something that is taken out of your check that you don't get. So, and that's, it almost is like sticker shock. It's kind of like sticker shock. And so what you have is multiple levels of income tax. This is usually where, if I'm explaining this, you know, you say income tax and, oh yeah, income tax. Yeah, I know what that is. And then when you say, well, how many income taxes are there? What do you mean how many income taxes are there? Okay, we need to talk. And so what happens is you have something called gross pay. Gross pay is how much money did I make this week, period. So if I worked 40 hours this week and I made $10 an hour, I made $400 this week. That's it. So that is your gross pay. Your net pay, and I always think of a strainer. So think of a net that's like catching fish. And so at first you've got the water and the fish in the net. By the time you pull the net up, all the water drains out and you have the fish left over. So think of this as your paycheck, okay? So you're scooping in, you're getting the money that you earned, that you know what that amount is. You know, I made $400 this week. And then once you pull it out and all of the taxes are taken out, well, what's left in the net is what you actually take home. That's your pay. So if you think of that way, I think that'll help. So that's net pay. Well, what happens? Well, you have three types of income tax that are taken out of your paycheck. And first you have federal income tax, that's the IRS. So the federal government will take money out of your paycheck. Generally, when you're talking total amount of income tax taken out of your check, between federal income tax, state income tax, depending on the state you live in, some states don't, like Florida, for instance, does not have an income tax, whereas the state I live in, Ohio, does have a state income tax. So you have federal income tax, you have state income tax, depending, and then you have local income tax. So the city I live in, Tiffin, takes money out of my paycheck. So the city takes money out of my paycheck, the state of Ohio takes money out of my paycheck, and the federal government takes money out of my paycheck. Three types of income tax. All three combined are about 25% of your income. So 25 cents of every dollar you make is going away in income taxes. That's a good rule of thumb. And so that's where, again, when sticker shock, so you're like, now we're not done yet. Other types of income tax that the government can impose, the federal government, would be Medicare and Social Security tax. Now, Medicare and Social Security, you might say, for old people? Right, and here's the catch. They're not saving that money for you. So when I get my check and I see that they took X amount of dollars out for Medicare, they're not holding that. That's not retirement planning for Todd. That's going to pay the old people right now. So in a sense, then you're saying, so I'm losing that, but you're losing that money as well. So between federal, state, and local income tax, and between Social Security and Medicare tax, depending on what your job is, I don't pay both of those. I pay Medicare tax, I don't pay Social Security. Usually it's one or the other, depending what you do. But the government is reaching in to your gross pay and taking some out. I mean, normally about 25%. So what we're seeing then is your net pay, when that net comes out of the water, what is the amount that you're actually taking home? That's the amount that you use to pay bills. That's the amount that you use to go to the store. So you have gross pay, I made this much this week. You have net pay, which occurs after all of the income taxes have been taken out of your income. And what you have left over in the net, what that fish is, hopefully it's a big fish and you're still happy and you're still smiling. But you're realizing that not every single dollar you make is actually going into your actual pocket. You're going to owe the government, depending where you live, federal, state, local, you're going to owe the government part of your income as income tax. It's a reality of getting a job. We'll see you next time.